everyone, this is Bushra Parveen. I'm currently a change maker at the fifth edition of the FAIR Project 2024. And today I would like to talk to you about women in conflict zone as victims and warriors. But before I start, I want to take you all to the context where I derived this idea from. It is essentially the concept of Zan, Zar, and Zami that is culturally and historically rooted in Middle East and South Asia, which translates into women, wealth, and land, respectively. These three factors have always been determining conflicts and power struggles. During my journey at the project, I realized that these factors not only exist today, but have also amplified with different variations of it. While people still continue to fight over wealth and land, I believe that women continue to bear the impact of these conflicts in trade of their honor and dignity. They become the victims of gender based violence and harassments. The pertaining studies show that 1 in 3 girls have experienced sexual or gender based violence, which is massive. In conflict zones where the law and order cease to exist, these brutalities take an even worse form, further intensifying the humanitarian crisis. I would like to bring forth the international scenario of women in Gaza Strip and national scenario of women in Kashmir and Manipur. But before moving further, let me take you through a small clip of how women who are essentially seen responsible for bearing and nurturing lives do it differently in conflict zones and rest of the world. It's the trajectory of the war that pushes these women to become the heroes that they already were. As per the reports of UN Women in Palestine, 10,000 women have been reportedly killed by Israeli forces in Gaza. More than 19,000 women have been injured. 3,000 women have been widowed and are forced to become the leaders of their family following the death of their male counterparts. 37 mothers are killed every day, and nearly 155,000 women in Gaza are pregnant and breastfeeding. And these women await to deliver their babies in the absence of hospital, paramedics, or any sanitary kits. The escalating situation in Gaza has raised concerns all over the world about the reproductive health of women and the rights based on gender. But the impact is truly felt in Palestine. While these are just the numbers that I've counted, there are many more women who endure the brunt of another day, fearing the loss of a loved one, wrapping them in coffins, or discovering their family under the rubble. It's not just the misery of the loss of a loved one, but the lost opportunity to even grieve their own losses. The long withstanding violation of international humanitarian law has forced people in conflict zones to endure the brutalities of worst forms. It is unfortunate, yet true and evidence, that often gender based violence and sexual harassment is deliberately used as a war tactic towards women to humiliate women and girls all over the world. The UNHCR reports that in the context of Gaza, women have been killed in areas that were safe zones, shot dead in places where they sought refuge while holding a white piece of cloth in their hands. Beyond the killings, women and young girls are also subjected to sexual assaults and forced to become the hostages of the opponent army. A daughter still waits for her father to wed her off. A wife still searches for her husband, and a mother still pines for her son and waits for him to be a pallbearer when she dies. It's not just Gaza where women and girls are persisting through violence, but it's many places in the world, and two of being them in our own country, Kashmir and Manipur. What we think of as unimaginable circumstances is a lived reality of these women. Like most women in the third world countries, Kashmiri women have been the epicenter of military atrocity and violence. Beyond this, they endure the agony of their fathers, husbands, brothers, and sons being kidnapped and killed by the military forces every now and then without any information or evidence. And this decade long struggle of women from within their homes to coming down to the streets has only amplified the cases of victimhood against women. On 19 July 2023, India witnessed a dark day of shameful and hateful crimes being committed against women, whose video went viral in their suffering state. The women were from the Kuki tribe of Manipur, and amidst the ongoing conflict in the region for over an year now, it is an incident that still brings cold shivers to my spine. But what is more agonizing is that it took 2 months and a viral video for this horror to besiege our eyes and much delayed action to serve justice. Jin Sianchin reports to BBC India from Chura Chandpur of Manipur, a harrowing tale of women living in a perpetual fear of either being sexually assaulted or brutally murdered without having a chance to escape.
I thinking like that. I was scared and I was crying. Plus, I was praying to God. I can't do anything. I can't run away. There is a lot of people.
The voices of Kashmiri and Manipuri women, I feel, are not unheard but also deliberately silenced. While they continuously scream for peace and for justice to be restored, yet the unjust saga continues. The only justice being ensured is in the hearts of these women, empathizing with each other, supporting each other, and honoring each other, much like through the local walls of remembrance for the martyrs.
This is the wall of remembrance dedicated to the cookie casualties.
So these are all people who have died in the conflict.
Yes, we have 129 people, and we have more than 1,500 houses that have been burned down, and also 292 villages are burned down. Yes, of course, we have to be strong, but then somehow the other way, our voices need to be heard.
While these are just the reports of victimhoods, I personally believe that the stories of these women are much more. They are the tales of courage, resilience, and infinite patience. The women in conflict zones have resisted and stood against injustice and violence through simple acts of love, companionship, leadership, innovation, solidarity, and whatnot. The contribution and expertise of these women are often ignored and they go largely unnoticed. But trust me, they stand strong as the pillars of the life that still continues to exist on their destroyed homelands. They exhibit leadership roles and innovations in the midst of calamities, ensuring that the needs of women, men, children, and even the dead are served and taken care of. The fighting ends, but the war continues. It is often considered the responsibility of women to emotionally rebuild a household, work for the community, add love to the lives of the existing ones, and bring new lives into the world. The psychosocial support of women for each other has been a triumphing tale for the world to witness from spaces like Gaza, Kashmir, and Manipur. From the remarkable gallantry of women filming and reporting an ongoing war, to women simply baking cookies out of simple grains and dressing up their children for Eid, and women led organization providing healthcare kits, to again simply finding women joy with their children on the rubbles of their destroyed homes. These women in conflict spaces wage as warriors in the spares of victimhood. This is not just the story of women in these three places, but around the world in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Ukraine, Bosnia, Ethiopia, Uyghur, and the list keeps getting longer. And it's going to happen again if we don't ask for accountability, if we don't fight for what is right. While they might not be on the front benches of justice, they no longer rely on others to fight for them. These women, if not taught, then are forced to stand on their 2 feet, which is truly inspiring. If they can risk everything in the middle of nowhere, I believe we can do the least of our bit from sitting here.
مش احنا بناتنا اللي يستنوا حدا يسندهم. بدك تطلعي وتقفي على رجليكي عشان انت مجبرة تقفي على رجليكي.
What we watch on our screens today is the fight of these women fighting against the regimes that use human indignation and forces to torture and kill. With these women fighting against the clock turning backwards for them with sexual enslavement or gender based violence, they emerged as one of the bravest people in the world to exist. Despite having their self esteem crushed to their core, their spirit of life being shattered, their respect and dignity being stroked and hammered every night, they bite the bullet and walk through another day of war and conflicts gracefully. It's their long standing faith and determination to believe that there is a better tomorrow, and this is what truly makes them invincible. While there are numerous stereotypes that exist for women that can put them into certain boxes, under certain labels, or confined to the norms of the society, I truly believe that औरतों से ही घर बनता है, औरतों से ही दुनिया चलती है. But here's the question I'm still looking an answer for. Are these miseries of women just the miseries of war, or the misery of simply being a woman? Thank you.